Blink, blink, ding, bling. Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ling, 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 ding, 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 a ling, 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 a ding, 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 ding. Dink, 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 ding, ding, dink, dink.
When I woke up this morning, could have sworn it was Judgment Day. The sound is so blue, people riding everywhere. Trying to run from the destruction, you know I didn't even care. 0-0 party over, oops, out of time. So tonight I'm gonna party like it's 1999. Welcome to Hoya Podcast. Hello, Amy. Hello, listeners. Welcome.
Hello, Jackie. Hello, Prince. Hello, listeners.
You know why I played that song?
Because it's 1999 now.
Because it's 1999 now. This is the first episode. Today we're doing season 3. What the fuck number episode is this?
10.
Episode 10 of Firefighting We Will Go. And this is the first episode of 1999. So we finally made it to 1999. We were in 98 for such a long time.
So long. Such a long year.
I'm excited about this week's episode because it's just a good time, fun episode. What about you?
Yeah, I feel the same. I was watching it and just cracking up, especially because last week's episode was heavy. Real heavy. Excellent episode, but heavy. So this one's just real fun, goofy, a lot of slapstick humor, and just a really great episode with all the guys. So, and Peggy, god damn, there's scenes that just fucking crack. She was only in it for a short amount of time, but they just made me laugh so hard.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty stoked about this episode.
I am too. And, well, do you want to get into shout-outs?
Yeah, let's do it.
Well, I talking about last week's episode, we had a whole discussion just talking about some of the heavy themes were just about suicide and mental illness, and we ended up discussing like the experience of transgender individuals, and we were kind of talking it out and trying to, I know that there are transphobic themes throughout this, but I couldn't quite put my finger on exactly why. I mean, probably a few different ways to look at it, but my shout out this week actually goes to a couple of commenters on Instagram. On our last post for Pretty Dresses, they shared their thoughts, and I thought that they made some really good points. So my first shout out goes to an Instagram user named Andymly, Andiemly. And they said, great episode. I will say, I think the King of the Hill ep could be viewed as a little aged and transphobic because it presents a man wearing women's clothes as a mental disorder. That being said, I agree with your assessment on what they intended to show. And we have my favorite episode later, which shows a trans woman, and that's not treated as a mental illness, in parentheses, Peggy Horror Picture Show. I think if Pretty Dresses was the only episode where they showed a man in drag wearing femme clothes, it would be an issue. But luckily, they have a solid example of trans people later throughout the series. I'm not trans, though, so I could be completely off in my assessment. And I thought that was a really good point to make, just the inaccurate tie between mental illness and transgender individuals and possibly associating a man wearing a dress with being mentally ill and how that can be problematic. And then another Instagram user named Melia.meals responded to that comment and said, I came here to say this. I recommend the new documentary Disclosure about trans representation in the media. The DSM in 1980 diagnosed gender identity disorder, quote unquote, as a mental condition, transphobia from the medical community that you can see mirrored in the media sometimes, even though that was reversed from the DSM. So I'm not calling the episode transphobic per se, but we should be aware of how and when men in dresses are mentally ill characters. Also, is it a real thing to have a mental break and dress in your ex's clothes? I'm glad it was discussed by Amy and Jackie. So I just wanted to shout out those two users because I thought those were really good points to make, and just being aware of. Obviously, we want to talk about this stuff, but I'm sure everyone can tell that we're still learning and growing. But I definitely think it's stuff that's worth talking about because that's how you learn and gain more insight, even though it can be scary at times because you don't want to sound dumb or risk offending anyone. So I just thought those were really thoughtful responses. So I appreciate that. So thank you, Andy Emily and Melia.meals. And I really want to watch that documentary, Disclosure.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you all for commenting those. We do always want to learn more and hear other people's opinions on these topics.
I know I'm always going to be learning, and I just want to make sure that my mind stays open to that stuff. I mean, I spent some time working with transgender individuals, or really just transgender women, in grad school doing voice therapy. And even though you try to educate yourself and be as knowledgeable and insightful about the experience of many trans people, you're going to get some things wrong. One thing that really stood out to me after that experience was just being a speech therapist. I do my best to be as encouraging and keep people motivated. And during the first several weeks of therapy with these women, I would just keep trying to pump them up and just say things like, you should be so proud of yourself for being here. You should be so proud. And only towards the end of the semester, I was watching a TED Talk by a transgender woman, and she made the point that, I was saying, you should be so proud that you're here. It's so brave. And she made the point that calling someone brave implies that they're making a choice, and you're not making a choice. She even said, I don't have a choice. If I don't present how I identify, then I can't live. I don't have a choice. And so that was really eye-opening. Just something as little as that, realizing that it could be a little microaggression, even though you think you're being supportive. So just always learning, always growing. So I appreciate the discussion and people giving us their insight too. So thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. How do I follow that with and here's people saying they like us. Yeah. All right, and now on to the shout outs for people giving us compliments.
Yay!
No, I'm kidding, but honestly, thank you though for those comments and insight. We do appreciate it. But yes, I do have some shout outs, and one of them is from Facebook. Our Facebook page got another recommendation, which we haven't had one since March. So I always like to point those out when we get them. And it's from Cynthia G. And it says, just started listening with my boyfriend and we are freaking hooked. Oh, yeah.
Yay, Cynthia.
Yeah. So thank you very much to Cynthia and your boyfriend. We appreciate you listening. We ran a couple of ads on Facebook and Instagram, so it brought a lot of new people to us. So it's nice to know that there's someone who enjoys it from those ads, who it actually, worked.
Yeah, that those ads that you ran, Amy, brought in a lot of new people, which was really exciting. But there was one person who just commented on our logo post, and they just said, "Oh, it's made by women. No thanks."
I know. We got a few of those things, and we got one on Facebook where it was like, if they're pro Peggy, I'm gonna go to war. And I just commented, well, this isn't the pod for you then. And they were like, I should have fucking guessed. Ugh. And then they tagged Matt Troutner, who's actually done a Dale Gribble impression for us. And I was like, you jackass.
Yeah, dummy.
So, ew, they're like, Peggy.
Ugh.
Well, you're gonna hate a lot more about us than just the fact that we like Peggy. So, goodbye. Yeah, we usually, every time we run an ad, we usually get some dill holes that have to comment like, women, boo.
That is the magic of the internet, isn't it?
Oh, it's so good. So good to be a woman on the internet. Love it. All right. So I also have one more. It's from iTunes because those are very important. They mean a lot to us. And gotta highlight them. Just gotta. All right.
Gotta.
You just gotta. All right. So this one is from S. Riley 3. And the subject says, or the title, like hanging with your best friends.
Aw.
I know. It says, I discovered this podcast right before quarantine, and Amy and Jackie have been keeping me company weekly with their hilarious podcast and lovely friendship. If you're a fan of King of the Hill and enjoy hilarious women and dunking on Peggy haters, this is the show for you.
Boom.
Boom.
Thank you.
That's right. Dunk. Slam. I think that's how you do it. I think that's how you dunk. You go.
You're just
slam.
high-fiving and then doing a cat paw.
That's how you do a dunk, right?
High-fiving into a cat paw.
Everyone. I wonder why they don't like women.
Who was that?
It was S. Riley 3.
Thank you, S. Riley 3.
Yes. And I do want to say one more about somebody commenting. So there was something going on with our Stitcher thing, so I looked it up and I saw that we had reviews, and we have terrible reviews on there. And yeah, we have like 3 stars. And one of them, it was once, but whatever. I don't know, who gives a shit.
Yeah.
iTunes is the important one.
Yeah. Stitcher, you wish.
You wish. So, but oh my god, I haven't told you this, Jackie, but it made me laugh really hard. It was 1 star and it said, terrible show. It's 25% King of the Hill, and the rest are just 2 women cackling about each other's diarrhea. And I was like, I mean, that's pretty valid.
Can we put that on a t-shirt?
Yeah, seriously. We should I should take a screenshot of it and post it somewhere, because that is it made me laugh so hard. I was like, I bet Will left that one.
That's the only 1-star review I'll ever agree with.
I know. I was like,
oh my god.
They've got a point.
They're not wrong.
They're not wrong.
I'm surprised that review hasn't been left 10 billion times already, so.
Please don't leave that review on iTunes.
I mean, you can, but please make it 5 stars.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
Okay. So that's it for regular shout-outs, but let's do our Patreon shout-outs.
Ooh.
Yes, because we got a few. We got a few, baby. Let me tell you what.
It's only 25%. We should put that in the bio. 25% King of the Hill. 75% cackling about each other's diarrhea.
That's going to be our next ad. That's going to be the tagline in our next ad. Oh, fuck. All right.
Patreon shout-outs, our most important, precious shout-outs. First one, Shelby B.
Shelby B, yes. Next one, Joshua V.
And last one, Naomi.
No last name. Doesn't
Shelby,
need a last name.
Joshua, Naomi.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful, beautiful, precious, precious. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining our Patreon. We're just so thankful. Really.
And I love when they have real pictures, because everyone just looks like precious, beautiful angels.
I know. Not an uggo among them.
No uggos in our Patreon, that's for sure.
Mm-mm.
We kick them out right away. We don't take them.
That's so
We don't need you or your ugly money.
terrible. All right. Ooh, just one last thing. We sold out of keychains. Yay!
Yay,
So,
sad, but yay.
but awesome. But I did save a couple because we're gonna do some giveaways, and one of them will be with another Instagram user slash tattoo artist slash artist, like just an amazing, talented artist. Their shop is Tapioca Land, and that's TAP. Hold on.
So good.
TAP. Stop.
Sorry.
TAP.
Beautiful.
God damn it, Jackie.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, great. Now I lost it.
It's TAPIIOKA_LAND. Tapioca_land.
Yeah, that's it. They sent us the most precious King of the Hill, like just little baby cartoons of the guys, and it's glittery and it's just beautiful and it's a sticker. So they actually redid it. They said they got the stickers printed larger. There's also going to be a couple of other merch things included. So in a couple of weeks, we're going to have that going, and we'll have, so for people who didn't get the chance to get a keychain, that is a possible way to, get one. So, any hoot, we have a lot of plans for more merch, especially just straight up King of the Hill. Did you just send me a post by Nasty Cat?
I did. It just popped up on our...
Nasty!
I'm obsessed.
It's hilarious.
It said to watch with sound, but that's the only sound. Okay. It's worth it. It's good. Follow Nasty Cat.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I don't remember. I think I was just saying we have other merch ideas.
I'm working on a couple things right now. I'm finally, after months, I'm finally getting around to doing some of these things, so I'm very excited.
Yes, I'm excited to see them. All right, so that's it. That's all I've got to say. Let's get into this sode.
All right, here we go. Season 3, Episode 10, A Firefighting We Will Go. And the air date is January 10th or 12th, 1999. I saw 2 different dates on 2 different websites.
Huh, okay.
Whatever. Okay, here we go. Hank, Boomhauer, Dale, and Bill are in an interrogation room with Arlen's fire chief, and it's implied that something major has happened. But what? Hank's glasses have been broken and taped back together right in the middle. Boomhauer's ear is bandaged, and Bill's face is burned. In an extended flashback, it's revealed that the story begins when, due to a strike by the regular full-time firefighters, Bill joins the Arlen Fire Department as a volunteer under Heck Dorland. His name is Heck, which I think is
great
cool.
Name.
Heck.
Yeah.
Is that a real name? Hector. Yeah.
Maybe I was going to say it's probably short for Hector.
I love it. Exhibiting childlike enthusiasm, Hank, Dale, and Boomhauer excitedly sign up too. Despite some mishaps during training, the 4 men become part of the fire department. Hank takes the opportunity with professionalism as the rest of the guys fool around the fire station. As part of the department, the fire department, the men meet Chet Elderson, the oldest member of the squad. Upon meeting Chet, they introduce themselves, and Chet's just like to Hank, "Oh, I remember you. You're the idiot that blew up the Megalomart." Poor,
I know.
poor Hank.
God.
Chet is an old man. He's just really old, and he seems extremely ornery. He insists on having his Electric Alamo beer neon sign plugged in at all times at the fire station, despite the fact that the sign is malfunctioning pretty severely. Dale, being the kiss-ass that he is, offers to plug the sign in for Chet, and he's immediately electrocuted.
Good. He is such a kiss-ass.
He really is. However, it becomes quickly apparent that the four friends cannot stop bickering, and Hank seems to be the only one taking the job seriously. Later on, back at the station, Hank reasons with the guys that this is a once-in-a-lifetime chance and shouldn't be messed up further. He tries to convince them to do drills, but Dale refuses. Chet asks Dale to plug in the Alamo sign again, but Hank prevents Dale from doing so, and the two start to bicker over it. At the same time, Bill discovers a tub of beef jerky in the kitchen and decides to use its lid as a frisbee, but he hits Boomhauer in the side of the head, resulting in Boomhauer's ear injury. So that's how he hurt his ear. Boomhauer reacts by throwing the lid back at Bill, but it ends up breaking a window just as Heck walks in and demands an explanation.
There's so many opportunities for Heck to realize that none of these guys are worthy of being volunteer firemen.
At least separate them. Don't put them on the same shift.
Yeah, for real. Well, I mean, God, none of them, the other three without Hank at all, something's going to go wrong terribly. He's the only one who can manage. Anyway.
So the guys are just all kind of doing their own thing. Hank's the only one taking it seriously. Everyone else is kind of goofing off and they're all bickering. As time passes, the men's behavior at the firehouse turns more and more juvenile. Things begin to come to a head one night when the guys are all staying at the fire station. They're on call. Hank becomes frustrated when he's upstairs. He's trying to sleep and everyone else is just kind of playing games and being really loud. Hank gets really frustrated and he comes downstairs to tell everyone off, but Bill and Dale refuse to stop playing ping pong, so Hank destroys the ping pong ball with his foot. Bill retaliates by taking Hank's glasses and breaking them with his foot, and that's how Hank's glasses are broken. Peggy has made a lovely Frito pie for Hank to take to the station since he's staying the night there. Boomhauer heats up the Frito pie, but Dale takes it from him and throws it at Hank, but he misses, and instead, the pie hits Bill in the face, scalding his face, causing the burns on his face. So
burns poor Bill's fucking face
with Frito pie.
Oh, I bet it was scalding hot.
Oh, yeah. He has a horrible burn on his face. So that's how Bill's face is burned. Bill then runs from Hank and ends up getting stuck rear end first in the fire pole hole trying to escape him.
Made me laugh. That part was great.
Right around this time, Heck arrives to the fire station to let the guys know that Chet Elderson has passed away due to being old, just really old. At Chet's funeral, Hank, Bill, Dale, and Boomhauer serve as pallbearers, but as they're carrying the casket to his grave, they continue to argue over the previous night's events. Dale refuses to touch the casket, believing it to be bad luck, and due to the subsequent lack of balance, they all end up tipping over each other and falling into the open grave. At the same time, the casket pops open, and in front of everyone at the funeral, Chet's friends, family, loved ones, generations of grandchildren probably, Boomhauer frantically grabs onto Elderson's corpse to keep from falling in the grave. Everyone's watching this. Boomhauer's clinging onto the corpse, but he ends up grabbing Chet's pants, which easily slide right off of him. Boomhauer falls into the grave, and everyone else is left staring at Chet's dead, bottomless body.
God. Oh, that scene is so fucking funny. Oh,
no. Back at the station, after the funeral, Dale tries to apologize to Hank, but he holds Dale responsible for ruining the funeral and refuses to speak to him. This does not stop the two from fighting over Chet's Alamo beer sign, which Dale wants to plug in honor of Chet, but Hank tells him, no, you can't. It's
busted.
A fire hazard. Which just remove the sign. Why is it hanging up there? As this goes on, the fire alarm goes off, dispatching the men to Goober Smooch's restaurant. The four excitedly gear up and roll out for their first fire. However, no sooner do they arrive to Goober Smooch's than they find out that they are not needed, as the small dumpster fire has been put out by Heck, who just happened to be in the neighborhood. While still at the restaurant, another call goes out, this time for all units. Hank reads the call and discovers, to his horror, that the call is for the firehouse. They rush over. By the time they arrive, the fire station has been fully burned to the ground. It is no more. And this is how the guys end up in the interrogation room from the beginning of the episode.
Yes.
So we cut back to present day where they're in the interrogation room. The fire chief makes them each go through each moment that happened before they rushed out of the station for the goober smooch fire. Each of the friends recreates the scene, putting more emphasis on themselves. First, we hear from Dale. His story depicts Hank as a drill sergeant, while he is presented as a incredibly buff, handsome version of himself with a full head of gorgeous, long, flowing hair.
Mm-hmm.
In the story, he ultimately blames the cause of the fire on Boomhauer's tanning lamp being knocked over as they all raced to the fire truck to get to Goober Smooches. He also recalls flicking a cigarette onto the ground, but does not disclose this detail so as not to implicate himself.
Mm-hmm.
Next, Boomhauer tells his version of the story. And this is great. This is, I feel like, a classic King of the Hill moment. In Boomhauer's version, we cut to his version, and everyone is just as unintelligible as he is. It's just everyone talking, but they're all talking in Boomhauer speak. Dale goes first. He's like, "Hey man, I'll tell you what, man, dang old detector man, government take away freedom of smoke. Talk about, yo man, geek."
I know, I love that gee at the end.
And then Hank says, "Yeah, man, I'll tell you what, man, dang old boy ain't right. Talking kick a dang old ass, man, out of the way." And then Boomhauer turns to Hank and he says, in very slow, clear diction, "For God's sake, Hank, act like an adult. And keep it down, guys, will ya? I'm trying to get through an article on vintage Camaros, and I've been on the same dang page for 20 minutes. And then last we hear from Bill in Boomhauer's version, and he just says, "Dang old pretty pizza, man, I'll tell you what."
That's my
He's eating a
favorite.
pizza.
That's my favorite line. I wrote that down. I love it.
By the end of Boomhauer's story, it seems that the cause of the fire may have been due to Bill forgetting to turn off a toaster oven he was using to make pizza. Next is Bill's turn to tell his version. And in his own story, he presents himself as an even balder and heavier version of himself.
I know, poor Bill.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And he's also eating just like a pig from a trough, just like he was in Dale's version. You know, hands free, hands behind his back, and just like gobbling it.
I know.
Poor Bill.
Like he's at a pie eating contest or something.
Yeah.
His hands behind his back. In his story, he shares that he has a weakness for French bread pizza, but swears that he did turn the toaster off after he was done making his pizza. He also recalls roasting a marshmallow over a burner on the stove, and it appears that he might not have turned the burner off when the fire alarm went off, but similar to Dale, he also omits this detail from the others and keeps it to himself. Bill mentions that he saw Dale switching his oxygen tank with Hank's. When asked why, Dale admits that Hank was the only competent firefighter while the rest had no idea what to do. And Dale shares that he switched the tanks on account that his had more oxygen compared to Hank's and figured that Hank would need all the oxygen possible to save them from disaster. It was a kind of a weird sentence, but he was helping Hank.
Yes.
Although the stories are different, they all list potential causes for the fire. Dale dropped a lit cigarette on the floor. Boomhauer knocked over the tanning lamp he was using. Bill left one of the stove burners on. Finally, Hank reveals that none of those things had caused the fire. Just before he got his gear on, he noticed everything the others had done and cleaned up after them. He turned off the stove, doused the cigarette, and set the tanning lamp back upright, turning it off before leaving. As Hank was pulling out of the firehouse, he sees in the driver's side mirror a neon glow. And he realizes, as he's recalling this, that the glow was coming from the Alamo beer sign that had been plugged in by Dale. And he realizes that this must have been the cause of the fire. Although Dale was the one who had plugged the sign in again, having done so just before the alarm sounded, Hank decides not to incriminate Dale, thus repaying him for his good deed with the oxygen tanks. Instead, Hank blames the recently deceased Chet Elderson. I mean, what more can they do to this dead man?
I know!
Everyone except Boomhauer goes along with the story. Hank tells them, it must have been Chet, and he turns to Dale and says, "Isn't that right, Dale?" And then Dale says, "Yes, Chet Elderson must have plugged that sign in the last time he was at the station. What a moron! May he rest in peace." Right, Bill? And then Bill says, "Right, that sounds like Chet." And then finally, Boomhauer says, "Tell you what, man, don't go dragging old Chet's name through the mud, man. Tell you what, Dale's the one that did it. Y'all leave old Chet alone, man." And then the interrogator looks at each of them and says, "So each and every one of you believes that Chet Elderson started that fire." It's just another classic moment where they can't understand Boomhauer.
I know, and Boomhauer does like a little like, ugh. Like,
Yeah,
hands up, like, come on.
Yeah. So the fire chief believes that Chet Elderson was responsible for the fire, but he doesn't want to soil Chet's name due to his years of service for the fire department. Hank says the fire could just be ruled accidental, and the chief agrees and promptly releases the four men. As they start to leave, Bill mentions a job opening for 4 plumbers, which Hank immediately refuses, but Bill mentions that there's all-you-can-drink beer, and Hank's just like, "All right, let's go try our hand at becoming plumbers." And then that's the end of that story, but there's a little side plot in which Peggy pulls her groin muscle trying to lift Bobby up in a fire person carry.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's struggling with that throughout the episode, trying not to show that she is in pain, even though she is in an extreme amount of pain. But after working out, she's eventually able to accomplish it. During the credits, we see her lift Bobby up in the air over her head and then just throws him down on the ground.
I love it. Oh,
and
my
that's
God.
the end.
Yay! You did it.
Thank you.
Great job.
Thank you. So, Amy, tell me some of your favorite moments, quotes, parts, impressions, thoughts, whatever from this episode. What do you got?
Yes. So you mentioned a few of the quotes in there. Like, I loved Bill saying "pretty pizza" in Boomhauer's voice. So good. But there's a part that I don't know if I've never noticed it before, and I can't believe I haven't, but it's when Bill is stuck in the fireman's stripper pole thing, and his ass is hanging out, and and the guy comes in and he's like, or Heck comes in and he's like, "Chet's passed," and everyone's like, "Oh, that's so sad." And Bill rips a massive fart, and the guy's just like, "Good God!"
He looks up and sees just Bill's ass coming out of the ceiling. It's like a mix between a fart and a tuba.
I know. Oh my God. And Bill, throughout the rest of the scenes, you can just see Bill's ass sticking out, like, in the background of almost all of the scenes in the rest of that part, and it just fucking cracked me up. I just laughed so hard. Oh man. So okay, let's see. I also really loved there was when they get back to the burning fire department, and Hank says to the fire chief, he's like, "Where do you want us, chief?" And he goes, "Back in the grave with Chet Elderson." I was like, "Oh damn, that was a good burn."
I know. I can't believe they're not immediately fired, or I guess they're arrested or
detained at the very least.
Detained, yeah.
But they also admit to destroying that fire hydrant, and that's definitely like a criminal offense, even if it was on accident.
Yeah.
Speaking of which,
Dale took the batteries out of that fire alarm, which I think is illegal.
Is it? Because mine are out too.
I think. Well, I think you could get in trouble. I don't know why I think that, but I've heard that. I don't know.
I know that, like, if you're renting an apartment and stuff, then, that's, like, a really big issue. Like, you're not supposed to.
Uh,
So, but,
but what were you
um,
going to say?
I was just saying that, like, fucking Dale rats out his own son or frames his own son and Bobby. I was like, "You asshole." God.
Yeah.
And, of
Where are all
course,
the
Hank is
people
a
that
scab.
give Peggy shit? Why aren't they saying anything about that?
I know, because Dale's funny. But so is Peg anyway. Um, but I said, of course, Hank is a scab. He would work, while other people are striking, and they're striking for health care. I'm like,
Yeah.
if anyone needs health insurance, it's a fucking fire person.
Yeah.
And let's see. I just loved when Peggy tries to pick up Bobby and she destroys her snatch, and she just starts like, let's eat, and she just sits down and starts eating straight out of the pot, so just to
Yeah.
like cover for her injury. Oh. And one last thing, there is no way that Boomhauer is a Texas Ranger. He is way too dumb to be a Texas Ranger. Like, they threw that in. We all know they threw that in for, like, just like as a nod to Texas Rangers and Texas. But no, there's no way that unless he is the world's greatest actor, which I don't think he is, there is no way in hell that he is a Texas Ranger. There's just not.
I was surprised too. I would have expected more from him, but I also wonder, when did he become a Texas Ranger? Because I just
Mm,
assumed he was a Texas Ranger the entire time, but maybe he only just got that job around the last season or something.
that definitely could be.
Who knows?
They were not smart to give him that job. That's all I
No.
know.
Or Dale.
God. Oh, let's see. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all I've got. Oh, but I do love that last scene of Peggy in the credits. Peggy just blasting her glutes and quads, just
Mm-hmm.
like getting ready. She's wearing the weightlifting belt too. She's got
Yep.
a
So
leotard,
determined.
like a tank top, like shorts leotard.
Yes.
Sh And then she just, "Oh, yeah!" She slams Bobby over her head and then throws him down on the mat. It made me laugh so hard. I love it.
It's really good. She always has something to prove.
She really does.
Is that everything?
Yeah, so how about you?
Well, I inserted most of my favorite moments and quotes in the story, but there's one by Bobby when he comes into the kitchen, and it's right before Peggy pulls her groin, and I think Luann is laying out spoons on the dinner table, and Bobby says, "Ooh, spoons. Can I assume the potatoes will be mashed tonight?" I thought that was really cute. And then Hank comes in a little bit later after that and lets everyone know that he's going to be a fireman now. And Luann says, "Hey, I've got nights and weekends free. I can be a fireman too." And Peggy turns and says, "She's right, Hank, deputize her." And then Hank says, "Luann can't be a fireman. What if a very large man was trapped in a burning building and she had to carry him out?" And Peggy says, "Then she would do a fire person's carry, formerly known as a fireman's carry." And then Bobby says, "What's that?" And Peggy says, "It allows a woman to lift a man's weight through a scientific principle that I like to call leverage." Just a good Peggy moment. Like, this is what I like to refer to as insert already well established, well known scientific principle. um, then I just have two more quotes when the guys are going through training and they're learning about the jaws of life. And Heck says, "The jaws of life, aka the jaws. Victims trapped in a car, this baby'll peel it like an orange." And then Dale is holding an actual orange and he says, "Yeah, let's see what it does with a real orange."
I know. Like, I dare you to try and peel this orange.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then this one quote by Dale, there were so many times where Hank was just trying to get everyone to take this seriously. And one of the times Dale responds with, oh, it's when Hank walks into the firehouse. He's got his Frito pie all wrapped up by Peggy, and everyone's goofing off, and he starts to give them shit. And Dale says, "What do you got under the foil, Mr. Party Pooper? Some party poop?" So those were all of my favorite moments and quotes, but I also wanted to share a little information I found via the website Project Gutenberg Self-Publishing Press, I guess.
Wow.
And it was, I don't know anything about that website or what they do, but they were discussing this episode. And interestingly enough, they had the word-for-word exact same synopsis as King of the Hill fan wiki. So who knows?
I wonder who got who.
Yeah, I would guess that fan of King of the Hill wiki probably copied it. But anyway, they note, this episode is significant because of several references to the Three Stooges, which you can really see how it's very Three Stooges-y.
Yeah.
Most notably, the episode's title, which is a reference to the 1940s Stooges short, A Plumbing We Will Go, which is interesting because at the end of the episode, they talk about try to become plumbers.
Yep.
Another reference, Dale singing the first line of Swinging the Alphabet, which was sung by the Stooges in 1938's Violent is the Word for Curly. Another reference to the Stooges, Hank constantly playing the role of Moe among the group, at one point calling Boomhauer a knucklehead, with sometimes Shemp being played by Dale and the role of Curly being played by Bill, along with the role of Larry being played by Boomhauer. God, how many Stooges were there?
There was only 3.
I know. Who's Shemp?
I have no idea. No idea.
Anyway, another nod to the Stooges, a rendition of Three Blind Mice, which was used as an intro theme to Stooges shorts, playing at the end of the episode when Bill brings up a woman looking to hire 4 plumbers, which could be a reference to that. A common theme in Stooge shorts was the 3 of them being hired by a random individual for a job in which they have little or no experience. Instances of slapstick comedy and idiotic mishaps, such as Dale throwing a Frito pie in Bill's face, Boomhauer bonking Dale and Bill's heads together, and Boomhauer using the jaws of life on a fire hydrant. And last, a portion of the main plot, inept firemen not able to put out their own burning station, is also the focus of 1938's Flatfoot Stooges. So,
wow.
A lot of Stooges. I mean, I don't think I've ever really watched an actual Three Stooges episode or movie, but I am familiar with what they do just through other people referencing them in other stuff. So I was watching this and I was just like, this feels like something out of the Three Stooges, but it was really nice to kind of get a well-organized layout of the references. So
yeah, I never watched the Three Stooges either. My dad really loved it and thought it was really funny. So I remember like seeing him watching it and laughing, but never watching it with him.
Dads love it. They love that. They love the Honeymooners.
And there's also a Monty Python reference in there in the show where Hank is like, I was gonna sharpen the axes, and Dale goes, Hank's a lumberjack and he's okay. And that's from Monty Python, which dads also love.
Yeah. And dads love the Munsters.
Yeah.
My dad also loves the Flintstones.
Oh.
Dad's all those like old shows. Anyway.
Well, that's cool. That's an interesting website. They really went hard on it, huh?
They went real hard. So thank you, Project Gutenberg Self-Publishing Press. Shout out to you.
Shout out to you. So let's get into listener comments. And we just got in a listener comment song. We got it in yesterday. Did you listen to it yet?
Ooh, no.
Me neither. I'm trying to not listen to them. I kind of want to I kind of want to like save the reaction for when we get it. So it's from Noelle G, and it says they write, "Hello, Amy and Jackie. I present to you my listener comment song. I'm in a band called Mirage Wave in SoCal, and unfortunately, we haven't done shows since COVID hit, so I'm itching to play again. We are going to record, but I digress. The listener comment song is inspired by Kane and his bandmates while singing Fun Center. Enjoy. Noelle. P.S. Our Instagram is @_Mirage Wave."
Mirage Wave. Ooh.
I know, I really like that band name. I'm curious what the music sounds like. Okay, so listener comment song, Noelle G from Mirage Wave. One moment. Here we go. Ready?
Okay. I'm excited.
Okay, ready? Okay, here we go. Oh shit, it's on my Bluetooth. Hold on. Sorry. Hold on. Here we go.
1, 2, 3, 4. Listener, listener, comments. Listener, listener, comments. Listener, listener, comments. Listener, comments. Oh yeah.
Fuck yeah! That was
yeah.
Oh yeah! Woo! That was awesome!
Ooh, that was good.
Yay! I'm definitely gonna check out. What was it? Mirage Wave. Thank you so much. That was awesome.
I know. If you want to play more music, please send us more. That was great.
Seriously, that was awesome. And it doesn't even have to be listener comment songs. It can just be like, whatever.
Yeah, we'll play it.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you, Noelle.
Listener comments. Let's do it.
Oh, yeah. Whoops. Let me get it. Hold on. Here we go. See, oh, you know what? Right off the bat, love it. MeJ90 says, always get Dale's BICKEY Bye song in my head. It's from the Three Stooges, which my dad loves. This is his favorite episode. Dads love the Three Stooges. They just do.
They do.
We got a ton of people with that song. There's Treehouse Creative, Bicky Babo, Bicky Bye. And then they also say this is honestly my least favorite episode.
Bill, my face hurts, Hank, and it'll match your ass when I'm done kicking it. Oh, that was by Martin of the Waking Universe.
Don't Call Me Caitlin says Bill's fart has perfect comedic timing. It really does. Oh, I mean, I shouted when I heard it.
Becca_Thunderdome, Bobby. I told you my dad was a fireman. Dooley. He's a volunteer.
Oh, I know, and I love it. And Dooley even gets Hank, like, Hank's like, we're not going to, like, turn on the water hose. We're professionals. And they're like, oh, they don't know how. They're just volunteers. And he's like, oh, yeah? And then it turns out they really don't know how.
A lot of people talking about Boomhauer's recollection, Crimes_Universe. I love how in Boomhauer's recollection everyone speaks like him, but he speaks slowly. And also, i.e. Black 42, everything in Boomhauer's telling of what happened. Minovsky.flight, Boomhauer's entire recollection with 2 crying, laughing emoji faces. Bandgeek 2K16, Boomhauer's flashback when we can understand him but not the other 3. A lot of people. I love that part.
Lee Berg Art. Aunt Peggy, are your groins still hurting? Oh, great. And then I just see Love Appleman. Ladies don't have groins.
Interesting. Seppuku Balloon, SEPPUKUBALLOON, says Hank equals Mo, Dale equals Curly, Bill equals Shemp, and Boomhauer equals Larry, which is a little bit different from that Gutenberg website, which had Hank as Mo, Boomhauer as Shemp, Dale as Curly, and Bill as Larry. So I guess it was just Bill and Boomhauer that they disagree on.
Huh.
Don't Call Me Caitlin. How'd I do, Bobby? Okay, go.
I I love that part, and I love Hank's reaction. He's just like, oh, God, oh. He's just so disappointed and annoyed.
I know. We think he's sleeping and his beeper goes off and he wakes up and he gets dressed and he runs outside and it's the middle of the day and Bobby's supposed to be timing him to see how fast he can respond, and Bobby doesn't start timing him until he makes it outside.
So good. So this one actually came to our DMs because it was a little bit longer, and I was like, I have to remember.
Sexy.
I know. I was like, I have to remember this one. And it's from Artsy Moan, and they say, okay, this might be long, so I just noticed this. Dale's story when he first starts telling is funny because he whips out long hair and is built real nice and is taller. But look at him closely because he looks like a Dale version of John Redcorn. Yeah. I had the same reaction. I was like, oh shit, he does. Broad shoulders, tall, long hair, handsome,
blowing in the no wind.
Yep. I was like, oh shit. And they say, does he know? Yes, he definitely knows. But
Oh
again,
my God, I want to see a
subconsciously.
side by side. Ooh.
I know. I was so impressed by that.
Who said that?
Artsy Moan.
Oh, yes. Excellent point. Ooh. I don't know why that gave me chills.
It was so good. I was like, damn, I got to remember that. So I'm glad I did remember it, because usually every once in a while we get people who send a listener comment to our DMs and I just immediately forget because it's not right in front of my face. So I made sure to remember that one.
Exactly, yeah. Oh, our good friend Amma Marfo also said in Boomhauer's head, he speaks clearly and everyone else chatters. J.A. Banks _ my name is Dotrieve, Bill, and I am also insane.
Bill doesn't really have a good defense on that level, but Dale absolutely does.
Mm-hmm. Oh, did you see that one by Right Dude Here when Bill farts loudly and the guy goes, oh, for crying out loud.
That's what he says.
Yeah.
Oh, it killed me.
I love that part. Well, thank you, everyone. That was great.
Awesome listener comment song. Great comments. Thank you. And I mean, that John Redcorn / Dale one, mwah. Brilliant.
Yes.
Brilliant. You're going to have to put that as one of the pictures, like a side-by-side of the two of them.
A side-by-side, yeah.
For sure. All right. Trivia! It's time for trivia.
Trivia.
Time to suck my trivia dick!
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you ready? Okay.
What's happening?
Okay.
Stop
Who goes first? All right. Who goes first?
Me.
All right.
So
let's have it.
You answered. Okay, so this, I have 2 questions, but one of them is a 3-parter. You did already answer one part of it. So I guess really it's a 2-parter, but I'm still going to read it. Okay. What is the code that was called for the first fire?
44.
Oh, fuck me. And where was it located? Goober Smooches, you already said that.
Mm-hmm.
And what engine number are they?
4283.
99.
Ah!
All right, I got one more.
Okay.
What is the tattoo on the fire chief's forearm?
I have no idea.
It's a bulldog's face.
Oh. Oh.
You see it very briefly when he's interrogating them.
Damn it.
And I was like, ooh, that's it. That's the one.
All right. You ready for yours?
Yes.
All right, Amy. The cylinder gauge should be within how many PSI of the regulator gauge?
There wasn't an answer to that.
What is the answer?
Did you Google that?
Yeah. I did.
God damn it. You know, I was going to do that one, and I thought, I'm not going to Google the answer.
Yeah.
Damn it. Okay. May I have the question again, please?
The cylinder gauge should be within how many PSI of the regulator gauge?
I'm gonna go with, let's say,
Nope.
15.
That's wrong.
23.
No.
5.
No.
3.
No.
Okay, what is it?
100, according to several Quizlets I came across.
Good Lord.
100
That's a lot.
psi. Well, how big is a
Dang it.
psi? Maybe 1 psi is very small. Who knows?
Who knows? I don't even know what a PSI is.
No, nobody does.
No. Mm-mm. All right. I mean, I don't know. I think that was pretty even, huh?
Yep. What? One more question.
Oh, shit. All right.
What's the next episode?
Oh, To Spank with Love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Peggy up. It's got some kind of moral
Mm-hmm. Yep.
in terms of child abuse.
Our naughty listeners may want to avoid this episode.
It's so
No
naughty.
naughty listeners, except I was gonna say Nasty Cat, but Nasty Cat's not naughty. Nasty Cat's nasty.
Nasty. Yeah, if you're gonna be naughty, you're gonna get paddled.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So, follow us on Instagram, Ho Yeah Pod. Review us on iTunes, please. That would be great. Our Patreon, we've got that too. We still have some pins left. And then also, we love you.
We love you. Everyone is so lovely and excited and enthusiastic from week to week, and everyone is getting us through quarantine too. So thank you for making this bearable. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right, Amy.
All right. Yep.
Are we ready?
I'm ready.
All right. And until next time, listeners, via con Dios! Yeah! Stay sexy, everyone.
Stay naughty.
And we'll see you next week.